Hello, this is Kwabi, life coach for women 50 and over, and the creator of Flourish, an online community for women 50 and over. How are you? All right, I get this question a lot. And so I wanted to come on here and just kind of share with you tips that can help you increase your confidence when you're in your 50s and over. Now, this could apply to women who are younger, but the reason why I created this list is because I've noticed that. And to be honest with you, it's not uncommon when you hit your 50s and over for sometimes for your confidence to go down. Now, it doesn't happen to everyone, but I've spoken to a lot of women who feel that way. And these are women who are accomplished, have done amazing things. They get to this age and they're like, they're not quite sure anymore. And so I want to help them build their confidence because guess what? This is not the time to be shrinking back into the shadows. This is a time to show up boldly, proudly, and fiercely because we have so much to offer. Yes, because we're older doesn't mean that we no longer have anything to give. Quite the contrary, we actually have so much to give at this age. And so I want to share with you some tips that can help you build your confidence. The first one I'm going to mention is oops, this thing's getting in my way. Honor the commitment you've made to yourself. So when you decide that you're going to do something, why is this thing looking kind of like it's falling apart? When you've made a commitment to do something, honor it. I know for a lot of you, when you make commitments to, your spouse, your friends, your kids, your parents, you don't back down. But when you make that commitment to yourself, sometimes you're like, oh, I'll do it another day. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. And I always say, tomorrow is not the day of the week. And so I want to encourage you. When you make a commitment, stand by it, stick by it, back yourself up, and do not give in and just decide, oh, it doesn't matter. Yes, it does. That is how you build confidence. When you decide to do something and you do it and you follow through and you do it, that's one of the ways in which you build confidence. Another way is respect yourself. How do you talk to yourself? Some of you talk to yourself in a very mean way. Forget about how people speak to you. How do you speak to yourself? Do you speak to yourself with respect or do you speak to yourself as if, oh, I don't really matter? Do you say things that are mean? Really, check that. Really observe the way that you interact with yourself. Makes a big difference. Because guess what? If you don't respect yourself, others won't respect you. And that is important for self confidence. The next one is a big one. Take action. You can't just say you're going to do these different things and not take action. Really, when you start to take action, that helps to build your confidence because guess what? You're doing something and that helps to build your courage and impact, and that helps to build your confidence because you're doing it, not just talking about it, you're actually doing it. And that makes a difference. The next one is celebrate your wins. I don't care if they're tiny wins by your estimation or big wins. Celebrate all your wins. Do you know that there's actually brain science behind this? When you celebrate your wins, you know what that does? That gives you like a dopamine hit in the brain. Yes. And guess what? When you get that dopamine hit in the brain is like, give me more of that. I want more. It's kind of like, have you noticed, like when you start working out and you haven't worked out for a while, or you just start working out again, in the beginning, it's like, oh my goodness, this is rough. And then your body gets used to it, where on the days when you don't work out, your brain is looking at you like, what's up? What are we doing here? Why aren't we working out? It's like you feel like you need to work out. You want to keep doing that. That's what you want to do. So celebrate the wins, big or small. The next one is track your progress. Your fails, your wins, I want you to track it all. Because you know what ends up happening sometimes when you don't track that, you feel you're not doing anything. You feel like you're not accomplishing. Whether it's a fail, whether it's a win, guess what? You're learning through it. That's how you build self confidence. You build it doing all of the things. Don't forget that. Track your progress. The next one is invest in you. Listen. And that means taking time for you. That means maybe going for a walk in nature, working out, is that what you do? Running, invest in yourself. Because you know what that tells you? That tells you that you matter, that you're important. That is important for your self confidence. All right. Next one is practice what brings you joy. I want you to start living your life out loud. What brings you joy? I know you can't, and please don't tell me you don't know, because I know you do. That's how, you know what? That I'm really getting to with this. Practice self love. And that means you do things that you enjoy, that you probably like, brings you pleasure, and just makes you happy and excited. Oops, makes you happy and excited. I want you to do more of that for you. You're not doing enough of that. You need to do more of that. Next one is I want you to start thinking in a different way, where I want you to have more of a growth mindset. And that means that you are going to be doing things that setting goals for things that you haven't yet accomplished. I want you to start having a future mindset where you're using your future self to create goals for you now, which means there are goals that you haven't done before. Yes, that is how you stretch and challenge yourself. Think about, oh, this is what I want to do in the future. Because you know what? If you keep doing the same old, you know what? That's just okay. Your body gets used to that. And then it's not challenging. You want to use, I want you to develop a growth mindset where you're doing things that you haven't even like, oh my goodness, I can't do that. And that helps the brain because our brain is programmed to be efficient, which means it likes to do the same thing over and over again. But we don't want to do that because if you do that, you're not building self confidence. You're just building practice in whatever it is. Now, when you stretch yourself, yes, that's when you build self confidence. And let me tell you what self confidence is. Self confidence is just knowing that you're going to do it regardless of the emotion. Now, I'm going to tell you this though the emotion might be shame, might be humiliation, might be embarrassment, but guess what? To date, and I mean this, I am yet to see news headlines like, oh my goodness, lady dies from shame, lady dies from humiliation. Hasn't happened yet. So listen, you will be okay. As long as you're ready to experience whatever emotion comes up, you can build your self confidence. So the final one is, because I wrote them all down. The last one is I want you to step away from the comfort zone and move into the adventure zone. Yes, try new things, take more risk, go ahead and do it. That is how you're going to build your self confidence. I'm telling you, these tips work. And you don't have to do all of them all at once, but I just encourage you to start to kind of step out there and start to do one or two and be willing in the process to experience any emotion. That's the important thing. As long as you're willing to experience any emotion, listen, your self confidence is going to soar beyond your belief. Seriously, that's how you build confidence. You don't build confidence doing the same thing over and over again. No. You build self confidence when you try out new things, when you do things that scare you, but you do them anyway, knowing that you're not going to die, you're going to be okay. It's just that you will feel a certain way, but once you pass that, you're good. So, I'm going to go over the top steps. So, the first one is honor the commitment you make to yourself. The second one is knowing that you are worthy. Listen, some of you think, oh, I can't do it, I'm not enough. Listen, the day you're born, you're worthy. The day you die, you're worthy. Your worthiness does not increase or decrease based on what you do or do not do. No, no. So I want you to acknowledge that you are worthy and just keep on going. Number three is how do you talk to yourself? Do you talk to yourself with respect? Are you mean to yourself? How are you speaking to yourself? Because let me tell you this the way you speak to yourself is the way you invite others to speak to you. And so that is important for self confidence. Are you taking action? It's not enough to say, I want to do all these different things, I have all these different goals. What are you doing? Are you taking action? Like, are you actually doing the thing? You need to do it. The next one is celebrate all the wins. Big, small, celebrate them all. You need to do that. Next one is track your progress. How's it going? The fails, the wins, all of it. Track it. Because you know what? That tells you that you're aware, you're paying attention, you know what's going wrong and what you need to change. That's how you build self confidence. Invest in yourself. Self care. What kind of self care are you practicing for you? That is important for self confidence. And that could be working out, going for a walk, eating nutritious meals. That is important for self confidence. The next one is practicing self love. Listen, that is so important. What are the things that bring you joy? What are the things that bring you pleasure? Are you doing them daily for yourself? You need to do that. That is so important in building your own self confidence. The next one is practicing a growth mindset. A growth mindset is built on the premise that you have goals that you've never done before. You are stretching yourself. You're constantly challenging yourself. Practicing a growth mindset will build your confidence in ways you can't even imagine. And the final one, step away from the comfort zone and move into the adventure zone. Yes, taking risks, doing things you've never done before. Scary, but so worth it when it comes to building your self confidence. So, there you go. Those are 10. I want to come share them with you because I get that information all the time. People get that question all the time. And I tell them, listen, there is no one on this planet that was born with self confidence just like that. No, you work on it, you build it. We all do. And listen, we all go through times when we're like, oh, I don't think I can do that. That happened to me when I first wrote my book. I wrote my book and I didn't tell anyone for a month. You know why? Because I was worried about the rejection. I was worried about people criticizing me. And you know what? That is what prevents us from building our self confidence. About emotion that will come up, whether it's shame, humiliation, fear. We just worry about that. But guess what? It's just an emotion. And if you're willing to experience any emotion, listen, you can build your self confidence in ways that you can't even imagine. All right. I hope this was helpful to you. Have a wonderful evening. Take care. Bye.